Game resumed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Starbros of all nations, Cepheus here and the Red Bandit giving you another game of Starbow, and today we're going to be casting a Terran versus Protoss, and in the bottom left corner we're going to have the Red Terran player Kalevi.
In the upper left hand corner we got our buddy Buckfast is playing as the purple Protoss.
Indeed we do, and this is going to be from the test map, so this test map is a little bit different from regular Starbow. We do have like mercs and dark archons and things like that in here, but so it's gonna be a lot of fun. They're cross position, so they're gonna take a while before they reach each other. So any sort of really early rushy play is a little bit more risky to pull off.
Yep.
And it's been a while since I've seen a Terran versus Protoss. There's been a lot of PVCs lately. There's a lot of Protoss and Zerg players, and Kalevi is one of the few Terran players. So usually when there is a Terran involved, it is Kalevi, unfortunately. I don't know.
That's true.
Unfortunately, but well, unfortunately, we only get to see the same player over and over.
Yeah. Well, something to note is I've actually started playing a lot of Terran in my casual Starbow games as well. So I actually might make the jump over to Terran.
That would be so awesome. We need more good Terran players.
Officially, the official jump. So we'll see what happens.
Buckfast is like asking Kalevi if he can play Imba, and Kalevi says yes, and then he answers Carriers has arrived. That was really fast, Carriers, by the way. So, whoa, look at that!
Yeah, just getting into the spawning positions real quick. If, say, for example, Buckfast would have started bottom left and Kalevi bottom right, it would have left a cool little play to where he could maybe throw his third expansion in the upper left-hand corner, try to spread the Terran out. But in this map, essentially he'll always kind of be expanding towards the Terran, so you can probably look for him to make more of a consolidated expansion path.
Especially in this position. Now we see Buckfast going for a really, really early Nexus. This is actually fairly risky to play versus Terran, and Kalev is responding with a Merc push here, so this is going to be really hard for Buckfast to hold. Holding early Merc pushes is hard on one base. I can't imagine how hard it's going to be with a fast Nexus on the way. So we'll see if he throws down a Zealot right away, if he's waiting for a Dragoon. It seems like he's waiting for a Dragoon.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to wait. And something that Kalevi did here that I actually like a lot, and that I've actually sort of seen him play and mess around with the Merc openers before, is that sometimes he would he would not make the medic, but it looks like now that he's incorporated that medic into the build order routine, and I think that's actually a really good idea, because you got the Merc, it's got a lot of hit points, right? And so, especially being a melee target, it's going to take a lot. Oh, we got the...
No, the SCV moves in the perfect spot. It finishes.
Jeez, how did that even happen? Wait, can the Merc even shoot through? It's a melee unit, right?
Yeah, he has a little bit of range. Oh, but it's not going to get there. Buckfast with the block. Oh, he tries to go around.
The Rosie.
Can he block the other way? Oh, no way. He blocks the Merc.
He's going to get in. Get in there.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
That's such an almost dead Merc. And... oh yeah, now he can heal up everything. The SCV can repair the bunker, the medic can heal the Merc. And yeah, if you build it close enough, Mercs can hit. And Mercs do explosive damage. They do a lot of damage to buildings too, so this Nexus is going to go down quite fast, actually.
I would say this Nexus might even just be doomed at this point. Another thing to note for people that might not be too experienced in the nuances of Starbow, the medic can actually heal units when it's in the bunker. So if you thought to yourself that Merc was low on health, the medic actually hopped in there and healed him while he was in the bunker. So we have all Mercs at full health right now, and a Nexus is about to go down.
Okay, so Buckfast, is he counterattacking? I think he's going to try and pick up reinforcements with these units, which I think is actually a good move.
At this point, he knows that a direct assault into the base would probably be a little risky, so it's probably best to kind of just give yourself more options as a Protoss player, or just the person who's on the defensive, and you go ahead, if you're being contained, if you can get those units out into the battlefield, it'll maximize your options of what you can do as the game progresses. So I think that's a good move from him. Oh,
there's so many Mercs out here though. Oh, and they're gonna sandwich these. There's only one Zealot and one Dragoon. So this is, yeah, Buckfast gonna lose these units.
By Dragoon.
Yeah. Zealot does a little bit better versus Mercs, but this is just too much firepower.
Yeah, I would say the opening, Kalevi couldn't have asked for a better opening at this point. He killed the Nexus, which is obviously a huge investment from the Protoss player. And now Kalevi is going to go ahead and throw down a command center of his own to see if he can capitalize on this. Ooh, and Kalevi actually threw down a SCV in the base here. I think that it might. No, I think he actually meant to do that though, because he scanned once and he didn't see anything of particular note, like he didn't see a Stargate or a robotics facility. So I think he threw down the SCV as a way to scout a little extra.
Yeah.
To see if he could find something.
That's actually a good move though, because that means that you can sail on scans a little bit. Now, interesting to note though, Kalevi isn't that far ahead. Sure, he has a bigger army, but he doesn't have that many more workers, and he doesn't have another base. He's got one on the way now, but Buckfast is behind, but he's not as significantly behind as you'd think from losing that Nexus.
Yeah, and we also have to remember that even though Bio is more viable in Starbow than it was in say Brood War, the storm, the Psionic Storm from High Templars, is still extremely powerful in Brood War, and essentially, I think Kalevi is going to have to make a couple more moves here before he can really think to himself that he's in an advantageous position here.
Yeah, he needs to be very careful with pushing now. He's adding on ghosts. Just for your information, we've been testing in the test map. Now, these goats, they have the Seeker Drone, and the Seeker Drones actually don't time out on this one. They will always hit, but they're still really slow, so you can move a unit very far away before it hits, so it can feel safe when it's locked down, but it will hit in this version of the test map.
Yeah.
So
now, Buckfast actually hasn't thrown down another Nexus at this point. I think he feels pretty scared right now.
Yeah.
And at this point, I think he was thinking to himself that a follow-up attack was coming, and it actually never did come. So now he's going to move across and kind of poke around and see what's going on with Kalevi's base.
And yeah, so we'll see how these ghosts deal with all these Dragoons here. Kalevi's going to lose his... No, yeah, there we go. And so we got a lot of Mercs, we got a lot of Ghosts, we got a lot of Dragoons. Kalevi really has a good composition to deal with them.
Oh, we got the lockdowns going down. And one thing we don't have a lot of is Observers. So if these Ghosts end up cloaking, they will not be able to be attacked at all. And it looks like these Mercs are holding up on the front lines there, and we'll get some good back and forth.
Yeah, Buckfast micro with these Dragoons is actually really good. He's trying to get some shots off before they get locked down, and still stutter stepping really well with the Dragoons here, and Kalevi actually has to push back a little bit.
Yeah, and he can use his cloak. I don't know why he's not cloaking. He could be saving every one of these ghosts. But it looks like he wants to get the kills here, and he got some good lockdowns as well.
But he doesn't really have a lot of DPS to finish off the lockdown Dragoons. He's gonna kill one of them, probably this other one too, just because it's there. But these ones should be able to get away. Oh, there's a random Dragoon that was left behind. Fortunately for Kalevi, though, he is floating a little bit of minerals. So yeah, there we go. He's adding on more barracks. I think his macro could have been slightly better, but Buckfast now finally getting his expansion up. And it's kind of interesting because Bio, at least in StarCraft 2, has to out-expand the Protoss, and I feel it's a little bit similar in Starbow compared to going for mech, where you can stay behind for one expansion without being too far behind actually.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Something that just arrived on the battlefield, we got some Dark Templars here. Now, Kalevi does not have a factory on the way, and it subsequently will not have a starport for a long time either. So he's going to be working with just his scans to reveal these Dark Templars if he moves on the map. Now, hopefully Buckfast is going to move these back so they don't get picked off, and he will see that that the turret is there. Now, a lot of times a Protoss player will kind of just send his DT and forget about it and then run it into a missile turret and get picked off. But Buckfast, even though he did take some damage on that DT, which he didn't want to, he will end up... and never mind, for a second, we did have a pick off of a Dark Templar there outside the base. And actually, Dark Templars don't one-shot Ghosts, which is very nice for Kalevi in this situation.
Yeah, they needs 2 shots. But just like you said, just the fact that Buckfast has Dark Templars makes it so Kalevi has to scan all the time when he's moving out now. So this is a nice little thing for Buckfast. But ooh, this force is gonna cloak and move in and maybe just do some harassment. He doesn't have a nuke, I think. No. So he's just gonna try and shoot something. Oh yeah, he gets a high Templar. That's nice. And he's gonna get some workers. And they're actually really high damage output on these goats. They're gonna get a lot of workers too.
These Ghosts are great at killing workers, and I actually think that this is a completely viable strategy because of this nuanced position alone. When you can actually hit before the Protoss has Observers out, and you can see that these Ghosts are just butchering these probes. And finally, the Observer has come out. Now Kalevi can actually scan it and take it out, which is beautifully done.
Wow, that was very well done. And the cloak does run out now with these Ghosts, but oh wow, another cloak.
And you could even think to yourself, if he had a nuke here, he could be causing even more mayhem in the base.
Yeah, Buckfast is commenting on how great this is. Oh, is he gonna
get a high Templar? Is he gonna die? 1 shot, 2 shot, 3-shot! No, it's not dead.
But the ghost died in a tremendous death.
Blah.
Anyhow, so Kalevi is building up a nice bioforce. He has been able to macro behind this ghost pressure, so that's nice. Sometimes you forget to macro when he is microing, but he did a good job of that now. So I feel he could almost try to push. It's always that, you know, he's seen the High Templars. It's always the how much Storm does he actually have. And let's look at the upgrades. No, Storm hasn't even. Storm is just starting research now. I don't think Kalevi knows this. And
Yeah, from Kalevi probably would have been a good time to do it like a minute ago, actually. I think he's sitting back just a little too far here, but there are Dark Templars on the map, which he does have to take into account for, and he might think that that's too much of a risk to push out against right now, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point. So none of them is trying to take a third base anytime soon. Kalevi is just making starports. He's making 2 of them actually, so he won't just be going for 1 Sansos, but maybe more, and maybe even some Banshees, which is a nice addition to Bio usually. We got a small group here trying to bait out some Storm, but there isn't none, so here comes the Rise. Oh, grappling on a couple of Dragoons, but yeah, Buckfast really has to get out of this. This is way too much firepower for him to deal with.
Yeah, those Mercs do a great job at closing the distance really quick to ensure some nice DPS on a enemy army. So Buckfast will move away, and I can't help but think again, maybe Kalevi should be following this army back to Buckfast base.
Yeah, now the Storm
we do have to take into consideration the Storm, like you were saying. It does scale very well, and now Buckfast does have 3 High Templars on the map too.
So is that command center coming? Like, he's setting up his position here, but is it not? I don't think he's making an actual command center. No. So
did he cancel it?
I don't think he ever started making one.
Oh, it must have been a trick on my ass, because I thought he was making one, but I guess the starport I thought was a command center at first, and it wasn't.
So yeah, Kalevi could really very safely expand right now, I feel. So we do have Buckfast moving out again with a very small force. He's trying to be active, which I like, but he doesn't really have the numbers to do anything with this army. Well, if he gets some really good storms off, he may, but he's getting his third base up actually, which is slightly risky at his part, but he kind of has to do it to get back into this game. He's still quite far behind in supply, both on army and workers at this point, so he really needs to make something happen.
That's true, but I like what he's doing right now, because I feel like he's in a situation that's a little more precarious than the Terrans. I feel like Buckfast has been sort of riding a knife edge for the past 5 minutes, ever since he lost all those probes to the Ghosts. And I think it's actually a good idea that he moves his army out into the map to kind of give himself, in essence, more of a territory and more of like a buffer zone, so that in case the Terran does move out, he can't just move from point A from his base to point B to the Protoss base in the matter of a few seconds.
And High Templars are really good retreat units. When you retreat with High Templars, you can storm behind you, and you're usually going to get a lot of units in those storms, and you're also going to... Oh, here comes the Ghost trying to snipe off some of the High Templars. Really good play from Kalevi there, setting out the Ghost first. He's got one. He could have even maybe tried to snipe the Observer, but here comes the rest of the army. Kalevi's going to go in and try and pick off High Templars with the Mercs, and this is really nice from Kalevi, actually. There's just a lot of mercs though, but this army from Buckfast is reduced to basically nothing at this point.
Yeah, beautiful snipes there with the mercs, and now Buckfast army is in full retreat against this bio army of Kalevi. So there's no other. No, I'm sorry. There's more High Templars on the field coming into the battle, but the question is, will they be able to land the correct storms in order to deal with this bio force? Because there's a lot of DPS here.
With 2 potential EMPs from Kalevi. Kalevi's going to try and very nice, splitting that one High Templar out, so it could only EMP one of them, a defensive storm there, and bringing out, man, the micro from, got an EMP off though, but the micro from Buckfast sending out the Dragoons first to deal with the science vessels is really good.
And there is absolutely no storm on the field right now for Buckfast, and he's being attacked in 2 points now as well. So here we come in that big battle here.
Oh, snipes another High Templar, loses a couple of mercs. He's going to try and push across this bridge. We got a lot of Zealots in here, but man, that's a lot of Marines.
And they're going to push through. Now the Dragons do stand up pretty well, but not against this many numbers, and they are thinning out eventually. You've got the D-Matrix going down as well, and this might be repelled by Buckfast. Let's see if he can hold this off. There are still no Templars on the field with energy enough to fend this off, and now it's going to be straight up Dragoons versus Marines.
Yeah, and this is just too many Marines to deal for these Dragoons to deal with. Meanwhile, Buckfast has been able to defend on this base, but now Kalevi's swinging around trying to pick up this third base. That's going to be really hard for Buckfast to Hold,
Ooh, take note of the Spore Prism has a High Templar in it. Will it get the storm off?
It does, but it's not a good storm. Unfortunately,
Kills absolutely nothing.
It keeps it safe though. That's one thing he's got going for him.
That's true.
But he's gonna lose this Nexus for sure.
Yeah, picking out this Nexus is a huge deal. Even if Kalevi has to end up running away after this, he has managed to get a 2-base versus 3-base situation against the Protoss player.
He needs to start saturating his own third base though. But he is definitely in a very, very good spot. Actually, even putting up a bunker here is going to be a little bit annoying for Buckfast to clean this up when he eventually wants to try and retake that base.
That's true. You can look at Kalevi and see that his macro has been lacking a little bit. But one thing to consider is that playing Bio against Protoss, I think, is even more punishing against the Terran player than playing Bio against Zerg in some situations, because you have to pay extra close attention to get those beautiful snipes off on the Templars, as well as making sure you don't get stormed. So there's a lot of attention needs to be paid to the army and not so much to the base.
Yeah, indeed. Now Buckfast is swinging around with a War Prism with 4 Zealots there. He's going to try and do some damage. There is a missile turret here, but it's not that well placed. If Buckfast just hugs the... Oh, he's not hugging the edge. He's actually flying straight into the missile turret. And
there's a planetary fortress there as well, so he can the Terran player can always activate that if it comes down to it. Only one Zealot gets out.
That's unfortunate. Buckfast really needed that drop to work to try and get himself back here. Oh, he's going to hide that Zealot though. It has 3 armor, so SCVs are going to do a really horrible job trying to kill it. Yeah, look at that. Buckfast
upgrades are doing great, and he's actually moving across the map now. Kalevi has a decent spread on these Marines pre-engagement. Now, will he be able to get the EMPs off? Now, it's also key to note that Irradiate can also take care of High Templar as well, because they are biological creatures.
Indeed, and it's kind of interesting to see Kalevi. Oh, okay, there's some nice EMPs, but he does lose the science when Kalevi hasn't made anything. Like, no more Mercs and Ghosts. He's like down to only Marines at this point, and that might be a mistake. Marines are very fragile versus the Protoss composition. Well, not with
D-Matrix is awesome. Now, will he get the High Templar? It is dead. Now, there are no more High Templars in this army. Of course, Buckfast has some back at the base. Now, there will be a beautiful little back and forth here, but I think the Protoss is going to hightail it home because there's no more High Templars to back up that army.
But yeah, both of them doing a really good job with micro, I feel. Looking at these little engagements, it's just like a beautiful little dance back and forth from both of the players. We've got Kalevi finishing yet another command center with a planetary. So this is going to be, again, Kalevi getting ahead. Oh, loses a science vessel, not another one.
That's a huge clump. Ooh, good spread.
Yeah, so it was a decent storm though, one of the best so far. But it's been really hard for Buckfast to get these good storms off. Kalevi's been very careful with his army, he's been really good with his EMPs, and we're going to have a little bit of a clash now, I think. He's going to try and just pick up more science vessels. Wow, saves it with the D-Matrix, but that is 100 energy, that is no more EMP. So that's nice for Buckfast at least. Oh, Kalevi not paying attention for a second. Okay, there we go. Oh, nice EMPs. And there comes the Irradiate like you were talking about.
But look at this. The Kalevi actually did push through the major bulk of the Terran army as he EMP'd those High Templars. So he's still in the running for this game, most definitely, and making Bio work.
Indeed. He did lose some more science vessels there, and those are pretty important. Maybe not as important as versus Zerg with the Irradiate, but still having a lower number of science vessels could be detrimental later on. You're gonna have Buckfast moving in here in a not the best of angles, and Kalevi, that bunker is actually doing a good job blocking, so to funnel in the Protoss units. Here comes more EMP.
EMP! Oh, he got them both!
I think Buckfast is gonna clean this up, but it's been a very cost-effective engagement for Kalevi.
Yep. We do have the reinforcements though coming in from Kalevi, and the D-Matrix going down, so it looks like he will be trying to hold this line a little bit longer than he would have otherwise, and now also getting a lot of probe kills to go along with it as well.
Yeah, the probe's gonna eventually... No, I was gonna say clean this up.
Oh, it's a slaughter! It's a probe slaughter, and all the probes are dead now.
Wow, look at that. Kalevi actually gonna take this base down one, and yet another couple of bunkers coming up, and Buckfast doesn't really have anything to deal with this at this moment.
I gotta say something real quick, Xevious. We got a hero on our hands over here.
The SCV or the tank?
No, the tank. Look at the kills on that son of a gun.
16 kills. Oh, now he's gonna go down to Zealot.
No! D-Matrix him! Save him! Oh, he's dead.
Kalevi has no love for his own units.
He died for the cause, though. Alright,
oh, wow,
we were right to us about his valor.
Nexus, but he's gonna lose the hidden base. Oh, and it actually completes. Oh, that's unfortunate. Can't cancel it now.
Now we do have an expansion going down upper right hand corner, but Kalevi is wise to take it out as soon as possible. Now we did have a drop down over here. I saw a High Templar just got killed. He did have some storm kills on him, and you can see that the SCV numbers were a little bit thin down at Kalevi's expansion as well. He is running out of minerals at his natural, and his main is totally mined out. It's essentially the same thing for Buckfast, but he still has some minerals at his natural.
Is it more people than Will of Drew that thinks that one of us is loud and the other one is quiet? Is it me that is loud, or is it him? And I can fix that. Anyway, Buckfast is actually going to try and move up this ramp. I think that's a really bad idea. He doesn't really have anything to gain from that. He has something to gain to try to kill Kalevi's 4th base instead, though, and he has an army in position. So, yeah.
That's true. He's going to try to get these tanks here in time, and I think if Kalevi get these tanks on the high ground before the High Templars get in position, he'll be able to make a very good trade.
Premature EMP because he didn't get the High Templars, only the Dragoons, and those storms did kill off a lot of Marines. Okay.
Yep.
According to someone, you're really loud, so I'm gonna just fix that real quick. It should be very easy. You can just keep casting.
All right, that's fine. So what we have now is we have Kalevi. He has secured his 4th. Buckfast has still yet to secure a 4th. Kalevi continues to make good trades on the map, and he's actually made the transition into a double factory build. So he does have 2 factories consistently making tanks to go along with his Bioforce. Okay. It is something to take into consideration. The Terran player is almost maxed out against a Protoss player who's on 100 supply. But against a Bio player, a comeback of that magnitude is not out of the question at all, especially if he gets some good storms off.
Yeah, and the thing is, Buckfast's army is very effective. Even if it's smaller, it is quite effective. And right now, I think we should both be a little bit lower in our voices. So if you can't hear us that well, you just gotta turn up the audio, because I can't turn me up any more than I am. So I gotta just turn everything else down, unfortunately. Kalevi moving out with another group of Bio. He's got more and more tanks incorporated into this, so he's not going straight into mech, but he's going into the Bio-mech composition. He's going to try and pick up a couple of High Templars, but this time Kalevi's a little bit more sloppy with his army.
Yeah, it was a little bit sloppy there. He did lose 2 science vessels and got some storms on his Marines. Oh gosh, even more going down there. He's probably going to want to start leapfrogging these tanks at this point, because if he can leapfrog up to this 3rd expansion of Buckfast and take that out, I think it'll essentially be a good game.
Yeah, unfortunately... Okay, there we go. Unfortunately, with me turning you down is that I can't barely hear you, but I just turned up everything now, so I think things should be fine again.
Yep.
Wow, Buckfast hallucinating scouts.
And big thing, we do have a drop going over here on the 4th of Kalevi. Oh. Now, there's 2 Stormers in here. Will he be able to get any SCV kills?
Them Stormers. That's such a good word. Oh, very nice. Very nice Storm.
1 Storm, 2 Storm, 12 dead SCVs about. I didn't count them exactly, but it's essentially it. All right, now we do have a nice defensive, offensive position, if I can say that. That's a nice little outpost here set up by Kalevi. He is going to look to be leapfrogging his way up to that 3rd expansion eventually, and that's looks like what he's doing right now exactly. He's unsieging these tanks, moving them up, and we can probably expect to see an engagement coming up here pretty soon if Kalevi looks to keep pressing the issue.
I really think Buckfast should maybe swing down south and then try to attack this Kalevi's army from the bottom, because it's like a one long line if you don't engage it straight on. If you can engage it straight on like he's doing right now, it's like a nice concave, so this is going to be really hard to break, but he's going to clear up the top path, it seems, and as long as he keeps the tanks away from his 3rd, he doesn't really have to kill everything, he just needs to clear this out.
Yeah, very true. Now, he got what he came for. He cleared the most northern part of that little outpost, and he moved back the rest of the way. Kalevi did a good job at saving a couple tanks there with D-Matrix as well. The
few Marines went in to kill a High Templar, and he just stormed them in the face with 28 kill High Templar, and he has almost no health left. Man,
that's a big hero right there.
It is. We should make like a... Oh, and more storm kills. More worker storm. We should make like a counting book for Starbow. I feel like a children's counting book. Like, how many SCVs did the High Templar kill?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Now that warp prism with those 2 High Templars ended up really paying it for itself. I think it ended up killing at least 15 SCVs, maybe more.
Yeah, that was a lot, because we had 45 workers killed for Kalevi a while and only like 15 for Buckfast. Now we have 40 for Buckfast, so that's like 25 more workers killed. And actually, Buckfast is making a gateway back here so you can keep refilling High Templars to this Warp Prism, I guess. It's a really weird play, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I agree with that because sometimes you just need to have a separate little outpost to make a separate army to do different things on the map. I agree with that a lot. Now we do have a Kalevi pressing the issue again at this outpost here, trying to take out this third, and he will get some Marines in there. But will he get the expansion? Is the real question.
Really nice EMPs on the Archons. The Archons are just the front Archons were just slaughtered right away, but this Archon is connecting and doing a lot of damage. And Buckfast cleaning up, but Kalevi might get the space. This is gonna be really close. He's just
Go Kalevi!
keep firing on there. He needs to storm. Oh yeah, the storm finishes that.
If he stutter stepped that, I think he might have been able to take that out.
Yeah, that's true. Run around the roses there. Oh,
Now,
I like that. Healing up.
We got another drop coming in at Kalevi's fourth. Stormer going down. We'll get one storm off. Only 2 SCV killed though.
Man, Buckfast is keeping. Look at Kalevi's SCVs. He only got 46 SCVs at the 36-minute mark, and he's never really been attacked. It's just these storm drops keeping the workers down.
Yeah.
Like, it's understandable that Buckfast doesn't have that many workers because he's been defending with them, but Kalevi has.
Most important part of the game right now. Our hero Templar is still alive with 30 kills.
He needs a medal after this game. Do you have that overlay where you can see his rank? Because I can't see his rank.
Yeah, he's Executor, bro.
He's Executor, there we go.
When he gets back to Ire, he is going to be, like, at the top of the conclave.
Alright, we got Buckfast trying to pick off this base. We do have a planetary here, but that's a lot of units from Buckfast. Well, actually not that many, but they're very powerful. And if he tries to repair, he can always storm it. Oh, there's Reapers coming around at this time now. This is kind of...
No! The hero Templar died in the mix. He did not get transformed into that Archon. He will not be going back to Ire.
That's unfortunate, but meanwhile, oh! Kalevi's gonna snipe the Nexus with the Reaper Mines.
Yeah.
Reaper transition late game from Kalevi here, and this is actually gonna throw Buckfast off guard a little bit, I think. And with that Reaper upgrade, that's actually kind of an interesting thing to do when you have the barracks potential. Oh, he's throwing down mines to kill the Riggers. No, he's running over his own mines! Oh, that went horribly wrong.
You know what, though? I think Kalevi is actually okay with that trade right now. We have Buckfast only on one mining base, and he has done the Reaper transition even more so. He keeps making Reapers. Now, anyone unfamiliar with the Reapers, they do have a cluster bomb that throws on the ground. It deals damage to units and structures. So if these Reapers can get into a nice little area, like maybe by this Nexus over here without any units there, they can go ahead and snipe it off really quick with those cluster bombs.
Yeah, and those bombs is an upgrade for the late game. I think you need an armory to get it. So, oh, these bombs doing a lot of good damage here, trying to, separate the forces. But Buckfast microing against this really well. Nice little scan there, sniping off the Dark Templar, and some more micro back and forth there with these units. Oh, again, Buckfast's expansion is going to be revealed, and oh, he got cancelled this time, but that's nice.
Yeah. This actually goes back to the discussion we had at the very beginning of the game, that where in positions like these, even though the rush distance is longer, as the game goes on, the Protoss finds himself expanding closer and closer to the Terran, which is something he never wants to do.
Yeah, this is not the best of situation, but Buckfast is going to try and claim the south left side, it seems, and that's I think that's a really good choice. He's going to push up this base. This base doesn't have a lot of minerals left. I feel this is a lower priority area to try and change at this moment, and he might get himself trapped between a rock and a hard place right now.
If I was Kalevi, I'd just get these SCVs out of there. Just put them in the upper right-hand corner.
More cluster bombs. Nice little move away from Buckfast. That's so many Reapers, though.
The bombs are real. The Reapers are real. Now, their DPS against single units actually isn't that great, but when you have overwhelming numbers like this, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, but that was very nice. Actually, Buckfast has sent in a couple of Zealots just to pick off SCVs, and a lot of SCVs die there. And Kalevi has less workers than Buckfast right now, which is insane. How did I survive for so long? Yeah, that is a good question. But right now he's really hurting. He doesn't almost have any army. Kalevi has a huge army, even though he doesn't have a lot of economy, and his last mining base is just about to go down.
Yep, there are no Templars defending here, so it looks like this will definitely be going down. Now, Kalevi is not laying cluster mines. He is just running through. I feel like he could probably be targeting the Nexus right now, but it looks like he's going to make his stand at the choke instead.
Those mines are really good at controlling the choke, actually. Oh, nice storm, though. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Can you get another storm? Wow, storm is so strong. That almost turned the whole battle around. But yeah, the reinforcements and everything, I don't think this is going to go too well for Buckfast. Like Teddy said in the chat, it would have been the comeback of a century, but I think it's too late now. I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, there we have it. GG, and Kalevi takes the game. with relentless bioharassment.